So in drafting your puffy sleeve, there are basically two methods. The first method is drafting out the person's basic short sleeve or long sleeve, depending on how long you want it, which you already have here. The second one is gathering your materials and then imputing the person's measurement and cutting out. So we are going to make use of the first method. So for the first method, you fold your material into two. This material is just for one of the sleeve. While folding into two, you place the basic pattern on it, and normally you're meant to place the folded parts of your basic pattern against the folded part of the material, and then you give space. This space is for the gather while you draft out the remaining. But then if I do it that way, the material will not be enough. This is the remaining of the customer's material. So what I will do right away is to place it this way. When I'm done drafting out, I will join this end. So if you're a beginner, for example, you would need to get material that have to be enough for you to do so. And that being said, we are going to begin right away. Good day everyone, thanks so much for always watching my videos. Today we are going to learn how to draft your puffy sleeve or your balloon sleeve. Short sleeve, short puffy sleeve precisely, but the pattern is the same. I'm saying a big thank you to all my subscribers, both potential ones and the ones I've always had. Thank you for always commenting, thank you for always sharing and liking my videos. So let's begin right away. This material is already on fold. Like I explained to you, I meant to place it this way, but because the material is not enough, I'm going to place it this way and join it later. Once I join it and gather it, I will hide the joint part inside so it won't even be visible. All right, so the first thing you are going to do is to mark out your measurement. This measurement is going to be for your gather. Remember, this is a puffy sleeve, it's not the basic sleeve, and this material this style eats more material than the basic sleeve. So for this gather, it's at your discretion. I'm going to mark out 7 inches. You can decide to make yours 8 inches. You can decide to make yours 9 inches. Depending on how much you want it to gather. What matters is that you give enough space for your gather. So I'm going to mark out 7 inches first of all. So this is my 7 inches. Then I'm going to place, this place will add as the extra material for the gather. Then this remaining, I'm now going to place it this way. I can use my pin to hold it. As you can see, these are already drafted basic sleeve pattern. I'll drop the link in the description section, and if you have any question from there, you can ask there. I will attend to it too. So the next thing will now be to draft out just trace out what you have on the basic pattern. Trace it out. Remember, this is your cap sleeve. Follow the curve. This is your cap sleeve, your cap height, rather your cap sleeve height, this curved place. So you can as well measure the person's armhole measurement, that is round, is 16 inches. Divided by 2 will give me 8 inches, and then I'm meant to have at least half an inch. So I'm going to go ahead and detach this. The next thing to now consider is, so this is meant to be, this is it, the extra. There's the cap height, cap sleeve height, and then this is the normal slant. So I'm going to, you have to measure and ensure it's this is already a drafted pattern, so I'm sure it should be enough. But assuming you are using the other method, okay, the other method is quite different from this, but it's not still bad to check if this curve, because this is your round hole, your round arm depth, that is your the armpits, round the armpits. This place is meant to serve as the measurement for the armpit, so ensure it's enough. Just your round measurement divided by 2, round the armpits divided by 2. So the next thing is just to determine the length. The length this person wants is just 6 inches, but I'm going to go ahead and leave it at, 7 inches. And in determining the height, make use of this place or this place. Don't make use of this place. So the height I'm making use of is 6 inches. I can add 2 inches sewing allowance for folding, or just 1 inch. And with that, we are done. So the next thing is just to trace out what I already have and use it to trace out the other sleeve. I'm going to go right away and cut out. Remember I told you I'm going to join these 2 points, so I'm going to use a pin to hold together, because by the time I cut this place open, it will be disorganized. If the material was not enough, it wouldn't have been an issue. Remember to take your curve. So I'm going to go ahead and join these places. When I join this place, you will understand better what we have done. So I guess you understand better now. I've joined, so this place is now closed. So this is our normal sleeve with extra inches for the gather. So the next thing to do now, you can as well just use this right away to cut out the other sleeve, but I'll just go ahead to tell you what to do next. So the next thing to do is to run your thread, run a loose thread from this end to this end to gather. So while gathering, you are the one to decide where you want it to gather and how you want it to gather. There is another method, not really method. For some people, they would prefer to fold into prints and sew. They'll sew, they'll sew, they'll sew. But the thing is, depending on how much material you have and how you want it to be puffy. So the next thing I'm going to do now is to run your thread. You can use that doing your sewing machine. You can use that doing your thread and your needle. So I'm going to go ahead and just run it from this end to the other end. I can see you already have the effects. So at the end of the day, you have your gather. You can now spread it out the way you want. So I'm going to straighten out the edge and then let it gather in the middle. I'm going to go. So I'll go and hold it, sew it first to hold it. Then you might be asking, how about here? I'm also going to this one is optional. This place that determines the length, because this is where we are going to fix in the sleeve from this point to the shoulder. So I'm going to go ahead and do the same for this piece, and then sew it so that the gather will not be moving. After sewing it, I'll now join it to the blouse already made. So I've done the upper part. I've joined the gather, so I'm going to go ahead and also do same down to achieve the same effect. Meanwhile, this is why I joined it. Like I told you, I'm going to hide it inside so it won't be seen at the end of the day. While spreading out the parts you join to the end that you join to the shoulder, make sure the remaining, you measure it, make sure it's enough for the person's armhole measurement. Just make sure it's enough. Now for some people, they would rather not do this. They will just have it gather at this point, at the shoulder point. They won't gather it at this point. It all depends on what you want. It all depends on what you want, how puffy you want it to be. That's what really matters. Ensure while gathering that the round sleeve, because this is the place where it will round the sleeve, and the armhole round, this is the place it will round the armpits. Make sure you have enough for it. And when I'm done with this, I'm going to sew again to keep it in place before finally attaching it to the blouse. If you have any question, leave it in the comment section, please. So this is what you have. This is this is the space for joining round the sleeve. So you have something like this. So in all you do, always ensure you measure this place to ensure it covers the armpits, or it goes round the armpits rather, and then you measure this place to ensure it goes round the sleeve. So I'm going to go ahead and attach this sleeve to the blouse. So look what we have at the end of the day. So this is your puffy sleeve, and as you can see, I covered the end with like I folded materials to cover the end. For some people, they can decide to attach an elastic at the end. Instead of adding this, you can add your elastic, whichever one the customer wants, or the one you feel is better is still okay. But for the customer wants just a belt. Customer wants it to be belted, so I folded materials to cover the end. So this is what we have. Thank you so much for watching.